everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations. You're with Simon today, and we're doing chart of the day, and this is for the 25th and 26th of March 2016, and that's how I feel. Venus is in Pisces with other planets there as well, Neptune, and I feel that this is a day of color. This is a day of exploring consciousness and being very excited about the multitude and the different types of shades and experiences that you can have, and just being overall sort of joyful in the way that you interact with your day. This is such a Neptunian kind of experience because the nature of inspiration in itself is the vehicle that allows us to move in the direction that we wish to go. So Neptune in itself has a direct correlation to inspiration. And that's why when you have like a Neptune retrograde in your chart or Neptune's going retrograde, we tend to find ourselves being sometimes a little bit less creative in our endeavors because the energy in itself is very sort of reflective versus, outward going. It doesn't mean that you lack inspiration in itself. It just means that the energy of that archetype in itself is not as outward going and masculine as it needs to be. Anyway, retrogrades is what we actually have today. And at the moment, this is the chart. We've got the sun in Aries, as you know, 5 degrees. Mercury's at 6 degrees over there. And the moon's at 27 degrees Libra. And I did a full moon video that is posted to the membership program that I have. You can check that out. The link is in the description below. I do new and full moon reports as well as other stuff for the members of Raising Vibrations. But I felt like, it's still important to be able to get the message out in a way that gets us to understand what these energies are currently doing for us at this stage. And, for me personally, there's a large need to focus on changing the nature of your mind, changing the nature of how your thinking patterns creates your reality to a certain degree. You must remember that, the Secret, which was a film that came out ages ago, 2006, 2005 maybe, had these ideas that were in some way, shape or form touching the surface of how reality manifests, but not really getting it 110% correct. I think there's ulterior motives with that thing. But they did mention that thoughts do influence your reality, and it is the truth. If you're going to consistently have these very sort of, I wouldn't say negative, but thought processes that always are seeing reality from a pessimistic perspective, then most of your interaction with reality is going to be that way. It doesn't mean that the actual reality in itself is different. It just means that your response to it is in accordance with how your thoughts are operating. And so with the current paradigm shifting that is taking place on the planet, on a collective and of course individually for us, with Saturn going retrograde at this point and also squaring the Neptune, the Venus stuff, and also the Jupiter stuff there in Sagittarius and Virgo. So there is the Sag stuff, there is the Pisces stuff, there is the Virgo stuff. All of that is really, really about how we are creating a new direction regarding our mental capacity. How do we define stuff? What do we use to define stuff? Maybe in the old paradigm, most of the ways that we thought were inherently limited based on the understanding of how consciousness actually operates. So today, I would say that what I would encourage you to do is to look at the reality that you live within and ask yourself, how do your thoughts and how does your mental activity in some way, shape or form interface and interact with your daily routines, and how do they affect you? Do you feel comfortable with some of the thoughts that you have when you interact with stuff? Do you feel maybe that if your perception changed a little bit in regards to how you respond to the outside world, do they offer, or does that provide you with the most empowering way of being? And I think that would be something that would be highly beneficial if we can spend some time just observing the nature of our communication to ourselves, observing the nature of our definitions that we use to facilitate and be of service to our souls, and see if there's any empowerment that comes from it. And of course, you use your own discernment to establish whether you feel this is appropriate for yourself or not. With Saturn going retrograde at this stage, it's currently stationed at this point. I do think that for the next kind of 3 or 4 months, there is going to be this, okay, we can relax a little bit. Saturn's not going direct. I'm not working on new stuff. But we will get this holiday period, but we will also get opportunities to re-look at, or basically re-look at the nature of our core beliefs. And so we will be experiencing some of the things that we have experienced over the last 3 or 4 months that we responded to with an outdated belief system. And because we've gone through so much change, the nature of those belief systems in relationship to those experiences that we've already had in the past, we might actually respond to them with new eyes. And that's really what I wanted to say, was like, how do we respond to things with new eyes? And that's really, really incredible when we actually see it from different perspectives. So yeah. All right, guys, fantastic. I hope that you enjoyed that message. Please hit the like and subscribe button, of course, and share the material with everybody you know. And if you're interested in studying astrology with me, come check out my site. I'm busy starting a new school, beginner's course astrology. There's a new format that I'm doing as well, where I'm going to be teaching a lot about how the body relates to the archetypes, and just overall sort of fun and excitement with regards to that. And if you're also interested, I have 4 workshops coming up for us. One on relationships. It's a 3 or 4 week workshop course. And I'll teach you about how to understand Pluto through the houses from a relationship perspective. And I will also be teaching you about Mars and Venus and the relationship that they have towards each other, and how you can look at that between yourself and a partner, of course, and synastry as well. And then we'll be looking at your personal charts to understand how it actually operates for you. So that's coming up. Soul alignment and awareness is something that I'm also really excited to be teaching as well. It talks about Pluto and how you can become alignment with the nature of your desires. That's like a 3-week workshop. And the one that I'm also super excited about, and this one really, really is amazing, it's called the Dark Eros. Okay, it's something that Evolutionary Astrology, particularly Jeffrey Wolf Green, worked with. And that goes with the nature of how our emotional realities have been suppressed through patriarchy, and where we carry with us unresolved emotions and how they play out within our relationships from a sexual perspective, and how to actually understand the nature of what is natural for you in terms of your own sexuality, and of course what else is how do you naturally respond to your reality. So it's a really, really cool experience to understand the Dark Eros. It's got to do with the primary brain and the limbic system, so I'll be teaching all about that. So if that's interesting for you, I will be posting some information on my site really shortly. Otherwise, you can email me directly and say, I'm interested in this, and I'll write your name down. So yeah, other than that, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I will speak to you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.